Good morning everybody. In the previous class, we have seen class 10 Dear Departed lesson 1. And for today, for a change, we will be learning about what is a sentence and the different kinds of sentences. Most of us have a doubt regarding what exactly is sentence, how to frame a sentence, and we don't have the awareness about the kinds of sentences and the types of sentences. So today in our class we will be dealing about the kinds of sentences. Let us start our session. Now, what is a sentence and what are the different kinds of sentences? Let us discuss in detail. Right children? Let's go further. A sentence is a group of words which makes a complete sense. What is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words which makes a complete sense or which gives a complete meaning. Any group of words which are systematically arranged and which give a complete sense, they are considered as sentences. Now let me take an example here. Ashish is a good boy. Right children, this is a sentence. Now second example, home is the best place to live in. Similarly, hard work is the key to success. These are all examples of sentence. So sentence basically is a combination of words or a group of words which comes together and gives a complete sense or a complete meaning. Generally, a sentence contains a subject and a predicate and also a specific verb. If there is no verb in a sentence, then it is not considered as a sentence. It should contain a subject, it should contain a predicate, and also there should be a specific verb. Then only it will be considered as sentence. Right children? Now here when we talk about subject, now what is subject? Here the subject refers to name of a place, a person, a thing, or an animal. To be very precise, a subject refers to a noun or a pronoun that we are talking in the sentence. Right? And always remember that a sentence begins with a capital letter. Right children? Sentence is a combination of words which gives a complete sense or a complete meaning. Group of words which are systematically arranged to convey a proper meaning is considered as a sentence. Right? And sentence contains a subject and a predicate. A subject is nothing but the noun or the pronoun about whom we are talking in a sentence. That is called as a subject. Now let's go further. Now, the predicate tells about what the subject does. The predicate tells about what the subject does. Now what is subject? Subject is about whom we are talking in a sentence. For example, if you say Ashish is a good boy, we are talking about Ashish. Or when we say about, Deepika is a teacher, we are talking about a particular person by name Deepika. She becomes the subject. About whom we talk in a sentence is called as subject. And what we speak about the subject is called as predicate. Clear? In a sentence, about whom we speak is called as subject, and what we speak about the subject is called as predicate. And the predicate contains a verb. It contains a definite verb. Sentences always makes a complete sense, and sentence will never depend on any part of the sentence or any part of or a group of words. It is independent. Sentence always makes a complete sense and it never depends on other word or group of words. And generally when you see some sentences, sometimes the predicate may contain only a verb. For example, if you see the sentence Joy ate. Now in this particular sentence, joy is the subject because we are talking about joy. It's a noun. It's a proper noun, name of a person, right? What is subject now? Subject is about whom we speak in a sentence. About whom are we speaking here? We are speaking about joy. And we have a definite verb, that is ate. So this is called as a sentence, right? Now let's go further. Now what does a sentence contain? A sentence should have a subject, a sentence should have a predicate, and sentence should have a definite verb. If these three things are there, then only that will be considered as a sentence. If there is no subject, or if there is no predicate, or if there is no verb, then that is not called as a sentence. Clear? Right. Now let us go further. Now look at these following sentences. The students read well. Rohit is a doctor. Ashish is interested in research. We all are strongly facing corona. And give me a glass of water. Now if you see all these sentences, now this is the subject. The students is the subject, because in this particular sentence we are talking about students. And what is predicate? Predicate tells, or predicate speaks about what we are talking about, the subject. So what is the subject doing now? Reads well. So reads well becomes the predicate. Similarly, when you see second sentence, Rohit is a doctor. About whom are we talking in a sentence? We are talking about Rohit. So Rohit becomes the subject. And what we are talking about the subject, that he is a doctor. So this becomes predicate. Similarly, Ashish is interested in research. About whom are we talking? We are talking about Ashish. And what is he interested in? He is interested in research. Okay? When you want to find out the subject, just ask a question to the verb. What is he interested in? He is interested in research. Okay? So who is interested? Ashish is interested. So Ashish becomes the subject. Similarly, we all are strongly facing corona. Now we all becomes the subject because we are talking about we. And what are we talking about that we? That we are all facing corona. That becomes the predicate. Similarly, give me a glass of water. Right? We are talking about me. So me becomes the subject. Already I told you previously that subject can be a name of a person, place, animal or thing, or to be precise, it should be a noun or a pronoun. And a glass of water, what we talk about or what we speak about the subject becomes the predicate. Clear, children? A sentence is a group of words which makes a complete sense or which gives a complete meaning. Right? It contains a predicate. It contains a definite verb. Then only it is considered as a sentence. Right? Let's go further. Now what are the different kinds of sentences? So we have 4 different kinds of sentences. One is assertive, other one is imperative, the third one is interrogative, and the fourth one is exclamatory. I repeat once again, the first kind of sentence is assertive, second kind of sentence is imperative, third is interrogative sentence, and the fourth is exclamatory sentence. Right? Now let's go in detail. Now when you see, now what is assertive or declarative sentence? Let me tell you one thing. Assertive sentence is also called as declarative sentence. A sentence that makes a statement or which declares something is called as assertive sentence. You are declaring something or you are making a statement. Okay, so when you make a statement or when you declare something that it may be a fact or it is a statement, then that is called as assertive sentence. Now let's see some examples. We are all Indians. So this is a universal statement that we are all Indians. And Rakesh is a product designer. So we are talking about a person by name Rakesh, okay, who is the subject. And what are we talking about Rakesh? Saying that he is a product designer. So it is definitely having a subject, okay. It is also having a verb, an auxiliary verb. It can be a main verb or it can be a auxiliary verb, okay. A helping verb or a main verb should exist in a sentence, then only it will be called as a sentence. Without a helping verb or without a help of a main verb, a sentence will not exist, right? When you see the third sentence, Sachin is an icon of simplicity. The great cricketer Sachin Tendulkar, he is the subject because we are talking about a particular person by name Sachin. And what are we talking about him? That he is an icon of simplicity. So this is the predicate and it is having a verb is. Similarly, the last sentence we have, Deepika teaches English. What are we talking about or whom are we talking about? We are talking about a person by name Deepika. Okay, Deepika becomes the subject because we are talking about a person. Okay, and what are we talking about the subject? Saying that she teaches English. So this becomes the predicate of the sentence, right? So assertive sentence is also called as declarative sentence. Okay, what is an assertive sentence? An assertive sentence is a sentence which makes a statement or which declares something, is called as assertive or declarative sentence. Clear? Always remember one more thing, all assertive sentences or declarative sentences, they are going to end up with a full stop. Okay, they are going to end up with a full stop. Clear, children? And always remember one thing, every sentence begins with a capital letter. Every sentence begins with a capital letter. Now let us go further. Okay, right. Now let's see what is imperative sentence. Any sentence that expresses a command or a request or a desire is called as imperative sentence. Any statement which makes a command. Now when you are in a classroom, a teacher may command you, okay, don't make noise or don't speak in the class or don't disturb someone, or sometimes he or she may say mind your work. So these set of instructions given in the form of a command or a request or a desire are considered as imperative sentences. Now let us see the examples now. Don't speak during the class. It's a command. Get out of from my way. So something which we give as an order is considered as imperative, and similarly something which we give as a suggestion or a request is also termed as imperative sentence. Now when you see here, get out from my class is an order, please close the door. So this denotes a request, okay, or a plea, please close the door and let me do my work. Please let me do my work. And mind your work, it's a command. So all imperative sentences, they either express a command or a request. And let me tell you one more thing. Most of the imperative sentences, we will not mention the subject because it is clearly understood that we are speaking to the second person, you don't speak during the class, you get out of my way, you please close the door. So the you is ignored in imperative sentence. Doesn't matter if the subject is not mentioned in imperative sentence, right? So an imperative sentence is a sentence which expresses a command or a request or a desire is called as imperative sentence. Any sentence which makes a command or which gives a request is termed as imperative sentence. And all the imperative sentences, they also end up with a full stop or a period. This particular thing is called as period or a full stop. Right, children? Let's go further. Now let me talk about interrogative sentence. The sentence itself is interrogative, interrogating, I mean asking. A sentence that asks a question is called as interrogative sentence. Any sentence which puts a question, which makes a question, which inquires something is called as interrogative sentence. Now let us take an example. What are you doing? Or when are you coming? Do you speak English? Are you interested in playing football? Now all these sentences are asking or seeking some information. So when you ask a question, those sentences are called as interrogative sentences. And remember always, all interrogative sentences will end up with a question mark. They end up with a question mark. Interrogative sentence is a sentence which asks a question or which makes a inquiry or which interrogates. I mean to ask a question. That is called as interrogative sentence. Right? Let's go further. Now the last fourth kind of a sentence, exclamatory sentence. This is a sentence which expresses strong feelings or sudden feelings, strong emotions. Strong feelings are expressed in exclamatory sentence. And always an exclamatory sentence will begin with a capital letter and it ends with a exclamatory mark. This is the exclamatory mark. Right, children? Example, how hot it is. How hot it is. We are exclaiming and saying that it's very hot. What a noise they are making. That we are saying that somebody is making noise. We are making a explanation. We are expressing a strong feeling. Sometimes you say, what a beautiful flower, or what a lovely building it is. How beautiful the Taj Mahal looks like. What a day I had in my life. How sad it is. Alas, we are suffering a lot with Corona. Right? Now what a clever boy you are. All these statements make a exclamatory sentence. What is an exclamatory sentence? An exclamatory sentence is a sentence that expresses strong feelings or sudden emotions. Alas, bravo, hurrah. Okay, all these things. Oh, wow. All these are exclamatory words which are used to express sudden feelings or sudden emotions. That is called as exclamatory sentence, and exclamatory sentence always ends up with a exclamatory mark. We need to put this mark. Right, children? Let's go further. So now let me tell you something in general. What is a phrase and what is a clause? A phrase is a group of words which gives a half sense but not the complete sense. Whereas a clause is a combination of words which contains a subject and a verb. A clause can stand independently whereas a phrase cannot. Okay, so before we wind up today's class, let me tell you something about. Now when we are talking about interrogative sentences also, all the WH forms like what, when, how, why, whom are all WH where we can ask questions like what is your favorite sport, who is your favorite student, or how are you studying, okay, when are you returning. Apart from that, even we can make even questions with auxiliaries like do you play, okay, are you interested, is the weather all right. Okay, with auxiliary verbs also you can form a interrogative sentence. And when we talk about sentence also, we can say one more thing. Now what is that is, there are affirmative sentences and negative sentences. Any sentence which makes a positive statement is called as affirmative sentence. For example, you are a good boy. It is making a positive note. So it is called as affirmative sentence. Similarly, if you say you are not a good boy, it is making a negative statement. It is called as negative sentence. So we have affirmative which are positive, and we have negative sentences which talks about negative. Okay, so this is the today's class. So before I wind up the class, I would like to ask you something like, here I am posting some fun riddles. I would request everybody to take some time and read out all these questions and post the answer in the comment section. Okay, they are very interesting. Try to find out answers for this. And similarly, if you still have any queries regarding the kinds of sentences, you can post it in the comment box. I'm going to reply and respond to you with a proper explanation. So before we sign up today's class, okay, please do watch the class. Okay, comment, subscribe, and even share. So in the next class, we are going to deal about Dear Departed 2, the beginning part. Dear Departed 1 is completed. We are going to start Dear Departed 2. Thank you and have a nice day.